What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's up? Watchmen Wednesdays. What's happening, everybody? Hope you guys doing great today. I appreciate you all for coming. You could be anywhere. You could be anywhere legitimately, but you are here with me. I appreciate it. We got my man JP in the house, man. Thank you so much for coming. How you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing all right. I appreciate you having me on, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a lot to talk about, man. Listen, it's gonna be a bumpy ride, but we're gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. So far, we got my man Lee is in the house. What's happening, Lee? All right, all right. Okay. We got LWN, the Liberty Warrior, is in the house. What's happening? Lori, thank you. Many blessings, Lori. I appreciate you. Appreciate you.
I
Kathy
love
is
you,
in the
bro.
house. I know, yes. Thank you, Lori. We appreciate this. Lori, you do so much on the back end. I gotta pay homage. I appreciate you so much. All right, guys. It's Watchmen Wednesdays today. And yeah, we are getting it cracking today. So my man JP and I, we were talking about a few things in the green room, and man, he is going to listen. He's going to put us up on some information that I think you guys definitely need to open your eyes and your ears to. So I guess JP, so listen, man, I kind of want to lead into what we were just talking about, man, as far as what we see happening in the media in regards to the whole Candace Owens exposing the Black Lives Matter. Now, guys, if you guys aren't, aware, yes, Black Lives Matter is a scam. It's always been a scam. It was just a money grab, and unfortunately, a lot of lives were exploited, and for that, in order for that organization to profit. So, I think that if you guys aren't hip to what was happening, then maybe you need to go back and kind of do some more research. But we're kind of past that point. It's some new things that have emerged. Candace Owens put out a documentary. I didn't get a chance to watch much of it. JP, I know you said you watched some of it, man. What did you gain from it, man? What's your insights? What's your take, man?
Okay, man. And before I start, for your listeners, disclaimer. The things that we talk about, the old folks always said hit dog will holler. However, if it does not pertain to you, when we're talking to people, I always tell a person, especially people on my platform, exclude yourself.
Absolutely.
Take yourself out of it. If you know this is not you who what we're talking about, exclude yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Go outside.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Think you might have froze, my brother. Uh-oh. Did he freeze? I think you froze, man. All right. Hold up. 1 second here. Guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you are new in the chat, if it's your first time watching, hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed. Lloyd, please drop the link in the chat for our viewers, please. JP, I'm gonna pull you down, man, and just come right back. Let's see. Let me pull him down. Yeah, guys, that happens, unfortunately. We are a one-man show here, so we don't have a full production team, so unfortunately that's just how that goes. But how you guys doing today? I'm doing well. I'm doing fantastic. Hope everybody else is doing great. Wish I could hit the like button as many times as Dems use mail. Oh man, yeah. Well, that would be fantastic because yeah, that would certainly trigger the algorithm there. I'd certainly have my a lot of my videos in circulation if that was the case, but it's okay. I appreciate the love though. Absolutely, guys. We're gonna wait till JP gets back here. There he is. There you go. There you go.
My
There you go.
man.
You're good, man. You're good.
It's wind blowing real hard outside. Everything just clicked off real quick.
Oh
But
man.
my
I know, I
apologies.
understand. You good.
But exclude yourself out of the situation and just take a dive inside and if you can agree, you can agree. If not, it is what it is. But
Right.
listen with a ear of not emotion, don't having no emotion,
Yep.
and just and hear what the message is.
Yep.
But from what I took from the documentary, pretty much Candace Owens, I don't think she's what I think what everybody was saying. I think it is true. However, I don't think it's true because of what they were saying. I think it's mostly because she was going against the grain of the black culture so
Mm.
hard. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think they just was like, hey, nah, she's not for the black people, da da da. Because honestly, she's not. However,
Mm.
what she's saying is true. Now, her agenda behind why she's doing what she's doing and saying what she's saying is it's where the money's green. Wherever the
Mm.
money is green for her, that's what side she's going. But it's
Mm-hmm.
never for our side.
Yeah.
It's never gonna be for our side. And
Mm-hmm.
what I took from that documentary also is Candace is a very intelligent individual. And I really believe, it's fun to her to make her community look bad. She gets a kick out of that.
Right.
It's not about helping us. Yeah, she's gonna expose it. Exposing it is exposing the Black Lives Matter thing. It helps.
Mm-hmm.
It helps line their pockets up. She's not doing it to help us. It's doing it to say, see y'all dummies, I'm trying to tell y'all, look at this. It's not to help us.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't she have like a? I thought she had her own. She formed her own organization, the Blexit movement. Are you familiar with that? And what's your thoughts about that? Is that has that had any impact, or has that helped in any sort of way in regards to Black community?
I have not I don't know anything about that one.
Yeah.
Now,
So yeah.
I do know the Kanye move that she just started to make was based on her and her husband's streaming, not streaming, their social media platform. I do know that.
Oh,
Um,
explain that. What do you mean?
so they have a social media platform that Kanye is going to buy.
Yeah, parlor. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So that's what that again, that's all to line her pockets. That has
Mm.
nothing to do to help us. That has nothing to do with helping us.
Mm-hmm.
That's all to line her pockets. And on the standpoint of Kanye, I think Kanye, again, like I said in the episode that you was telling me that you was listening to, to be a billionaire, you have to be intelligent
Exactly.
to make the moves that you're making.
Mm-hmm.
However, he's in such a dark place right now, trying to escape where he's at. And he's getting so much information so quickly that he can't process it.
Right.
And I don't believe Kanye is going back and actually researching and studying for himself in a
Mm.
timely manner before he spit the things out to the people.
Let me ask you: do you think Candace actually has Kanye's best interests at heart?
Nah,
Oh, oh. All
nah.
right. Why not?
Because Kanye is trying to save the people.
Mm,
She's not.
mm,
That the agenda behind what both of them are doing is not aligning.
mm-hmm,
It's not aligning.
mm-hmm.
He is so hurt right now. He's in a state of mind right now of hurt, pain, guilt. Because if you don't remember, a lot of his rap lyrics, he went against it.
Yep.
The most important one was in Gold Digger.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Kanye again did what he did because originally he told you, man, you're not gonna listen to somebody until they get money. And that's what he did. He
Mm-hmm.
had to align himself with a Kardashian get the money, get the power, so everybody can listen. But then now, the way that the woke media is going now, they want to silence your voice. So we already thought he was crazy after he lost his mama. So
Mm.
now that's even a easier way to discredit what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
so much easier now.
absolutely. It seems like they're so quick to play that card, to call you crazy whenever you start to call out the matrix. Um, but I don't know, man. What I'm grappling with, trying to grapple with, is the fact that she has Candace has such a huge following, and just the I get it. A lot of what she says, you can't deny that it is not correct, factually correct. Yes, she highlights a lot of the internal issues that are going on in the black community, which right. But my thing is, if she isn't, if her if her entire motive is disingenuous, how is that going to affect people, the people that's following her?
Because Candace wants to be the token black
Ooh,
person within the
that's
circle
deep.
of her
That's deep.
conservative Republican group. If you don't, if you don't
Mm,
realize,
mm.
every black Republican that came into trying to run for anything, she discredited them.
Yeah.
She tore them down. She tore them down. Candace doesn't want to be viewed as black, but the thing about it is, black is when it is cool to be in that circle. They want to say, well, we got his black, we got somebody black here. So now she's going to be that black person. They're gonna ask her about rap music.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna ask them about, they're gonna
What?
ask her about anything that has to do with culture.
Right. 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 And yeah, and that's what I meant by earlier when I said she's straddling the fence, because if you saw what she said during the Super Bowl, she was pedestalizing the whole rap culture, the hip hop industry, saying there was black, calling it black excellence. And then on one hand, you're saying that, but you're speaking about what has been historically ailing Black America. So that's what's that's I don't know. That's what's really kind of like throwing me off. Like, and again, man, I've always this is crazy because I really did support Candace. I really did. I was one of her staunch supporters because she resonated with a lot of people. Spoke boldly. She's very intelligent, and she's articulate. So it's
You know
um
what's the problem? You
hmm,
know what's the problem? A lot of our culture right now is confused.
mm-hmm,
It is so much coming in this internet era. It's so much coming in. That's why
mm,
you say what most say. I mean, it's all over the place. It's confusing.
mm-hmm,
But at the end of the day, when you look at it, just pay attention to her movement. If
mm,
you like, okay, so you didn't see the documentary. Now, there is definitely some parts in there that it did open up, that I was like, damn, because she went. So George Floyd had some roommates that he was staying with. Um, it's the podcast, brother. But it's he had three roommates, right? He had two roommates. So she went to interview them, right?
mm-hmm,
And the crazy thing about it is, she exposed how it was a money grab, because the family never, not once, came to the house. Um, they never got his stuff. They never knew where he was at. They never knew where he was at. But they went on the media talking to her, talking to the media about, they
yep,
crying, doing this
yep,
and doing that. It was
Yep.
all the media went and got to the family and told them we're gonna make some money off of this. They made almost $80 million.
80 mil. Yep.
eighty
Yep.
million dollars, and the money went to the LGBT, the alphabet community,
Mm-hmm.
um, all type of sex trafficking, all type of that. It was ridiculous.
1 second, man. Natasha says, I think you guys are wrong about Candace. I don't believe she is trying to be a token black Republican. And she hasn't thrown all black candidates under the bus. She just calls out the lies and hypocrisy. Our black community needs to be better and do better. You want to respond to that, my friend?
Uh okay. So she exposed lies. That is correct. My thing is this: what good has it gotten her with helping the community though? You know what I'm saying? We understand. Okay, so both sides, if you look at the left and the right, the left says a lot about bringing light to stuff, bringing awareness, doing this
Right.
and that. Candace is saying, okay, I'm going to expose, I'm going to do this. At some point, what's next?
What's next?
What's next?
Exactly.
What's next? If you're
Mhm.
going to expose it, if you're helping your community, what's next? Because
Mhm.
you're talking about
It's a good
Candace.
point. It's a good
You're
point.
talking about, you don't think Candace is this, that, and the other. I get it. I understand. So now you go to the Kanye part, but then we're gonna just say he's crazy. But the white lives matter. Let me ask you this. Why do we use white lives or black lives instead of just saying black life, white life?
Mm.
Because white life and black life. But when you say lives, bruh, it's just the wording of everything is what throws people off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the thing. When you use a gray area like that, that's what messes stuff up. But Black Life Matter, period. Just the life of a black. When you don't, you talking about abortion and stuff like that. A black life itself, it matters. That's the bottom line. But
Mm-hmm.
if somebody has to tell me, what has she really, what's next? What's the next plan?
Right. And you're right. You raise a really good point, man. And that's what my issue has been with. I don't know, a lot of these movements, man. When you hear, I mean, you kind of hear the talking points, and you know, as factually true they are. It's just, when do we get to a point where there's actually going to be some sort of momentum? Now, Candace, on the other hand, she has the platform, she has the gravitas, to actually make an impact, I think. But more and more, I don't know. I just think the more she wants to be in the spotlight, the more I don't know, man. It's just and again, she's a mother, so you should be at home. You should be embodying the values that you are espousing. The black community has abandoned. You should be at home doing what you should do as a mother. So, hold up. Neil, help me here. I was hoping Candace would run for president. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, she did say that a few times. But what our issue is that it seems like she's straddling the fence here, LW in Liberty Warrior. She's playing both sides of the fence. I don't have the quote, but the tweet she made, but she pedestalizes the hip hop industry while criticizing the black community. And what it appears to someone who's kind of paying attention, it appears as if she's trying to save face. It seems as if she's trying to save face to whatever market or whoever she aligns herself with, in order to continue to push forward this agenda, whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, I'm I don't know if I wholeheartedly believe it's all about money, but I don't know. Provide
it's
me some evidence that it's to the contrary. I don't
it's
know.
gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for Candace to win. if she runs for president, it's gonna be hard. Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, if she's gonna run on the Republican side, this is what this is what's gonna happen. On the Republican side, the white men are so in their ego, they're not going to say it is time for a woman, not only a woman, a black woman, to run the United States. But then on the Democrat side, the only way that somebody like Kamala Harris is going to run, because why? Those black women are feeling like she's for the culture, and that would be the detriment of us. Now, if you think Candace is going to run it, yeah, that's fine, but that side is not going to allow her to win. And even with the Trump race, the Democrats hated Trump so bad that they didn't care who was running against Trump.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So they were going to pick anybody. The Republicans are not that dumb. Mm-hmm. They're not just going to say, we want somebody out of office, we will put Candace there. They listen to what the policies are going to be. And they're going to say, well, shit, first of all, she's a woman. And then second of all, it's like, are we ready for a woman to run it? So it's going to be hard. It's going to be real hard.
Yeah. Do you think she'll be able to garner the support, though? She'll have enough people backing her to feel as if there is a possibility to win?
It's hard. It's gonna be hard because it's a popularity contest. She's not, you know what I'm saying? It's a popularity contest. It's gonna be hard. So listen, a person like you, how much do you struggle with having conversations with people, and when they don't understand, it's just like, you want to walk away, but you want to keep helping your people.
Exactly.
You're like, I want to help, but they're not getting it. Mm-hmm. They're not getting it. And you're like, fuck, dang, mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. She doesn't have that patience. Not with her own kind. She does not. She wants to exploit. She want to keep exploiting lies and thinking that's going to open up her people's eyes. Right. They love beautiful lies. Right. That's not going to work.
Right.
They love beautiful lies. Yes. Exposing lies is not going to work. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to, at some point, connect with your people. And that's not saying that you got to be a hood rat. That's not saying that you got to be ghetto. That's not saying any of that. But you got to find some type of ground to be able to impact your people and be able to stand within a room and get their attention and get them. Because she, even with the Killer Mike, when they had that panel, everybody.
I saw that. Yeah.
Everybody. If it wasn't for Killer Mike just being a real conservative and being neutral.
I don't know. He was. I don't know. He waffles a lot. Yeah, but I hear you. I catch it, man. I don't know. I got a problem with Killer Mike. He kind of straddles the fence too.
That hit you pretty hard. Being neutral and understanding the message and not the messenger. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for him standing there and saying, "Guys, just shut up and listen to what she's saying. Let her finish," she wouldn't even got through with nothing she was saying on that panel. Yeah. They weren't going to give her a chance.
Mm-mm. No, but you're right.
For what you see, it's confusing to you. Mm-hmm. So if it's confusing to you with somebody of your intellect, just imagine for somebody who doesn't read much. For if you ask a lot of people about politics, they tell you, man, I don't know nothing about it. So with that being said, they're only voting because of what their family and what their grandma, what their mama, what their aunties are saying, or what media is pushing.
Yeah.
So when they say about voter suppression, just imagine if voter suppression is real, can you honestly say, damn, I see why? Because who wants to keep voting on popular people when they don't have nothing in your best interest.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
listening to what they're pushing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's all about the vernacular too. I mean, how you are, how relatable you are. Like that's what I think. What was so um appealing about Trump, what drew people to Trump. He was very relatable. He wasn't too shy to, speak to someone on their level. Trump was in your face. He could have a conversation with you. He shake your hand, look you in the eye, and you don't get that presence from Candace. I don't think you get the same demeanor from Candace. If anything, she's the type of chick, you know, would probably be reticent to, sit down and have a conversation with you.
She's not gonna if it's a certain neighborhood, she's not gonna go into it.
There you go. There
If
you
it's
go.
if she peeps the scenery out and like, hey, hold wait, I'm going where? No, 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 no. You know, and that's not gonna be a good thing. People understanding she's not, it's gonna be it's one of those things you don't know which one is really gonna be. Is she really caring about her safety or is she looking down on her people? So it's like it's one of that up in the air thing. But you
Yeah.
look at it, she cares about her safety. One thing
Mhm.
about it too, you understand, and that is not a good place for you, a person of your caliber, people that you don't like. Are they gonna be willing to listen to you past 5 minutes? Because people like to use trigger words.
Yeah.
They love to use trigger words.
Mhm.
And that's one thing we got to learn too. It's a way to talk to people without, when you know what their triggers are.
Mhm.
If you stay away from triggering people, their ears will stay open. But people think we have to trigger someone to get their attention. But what
Mhm.
it does is it makes them close their ears even more.
Mhm.
And
Can
and
certainly have that
also
effect.
we learned a lot about, I was listening to Marlon and Corey the other day. It's like we were prone to think the louder we get in our voice inflection,
Mhm.
that gets a person to know your seriousness and
Exactly.
gets you and get them at
Yeah,
attention.
I call it pounding the table with passion, as if that's supposed to indicate you're telling the truth in some way. I'm not, and I'm not. I never understood that. I never understood why people thought the louder they are is supposed to reflect the truth or something. I don't know.
That doesn't work. Not with people that's already having a victim mentality.
Hmm.
That's not gonna work. They're already not wanting to listen to you anyway. They're looking for a reason to cut that conversation off.
Hmm.
So you have to let somebody like that lead the conversation and you just bounce off of that. You have to act. Sometimes you got to ask questions more and let people talk themselves into things to
Yeah.
get them to understand where they're going at. That's what I like to do.
So let me ask you. So you personally, what's important to you?
My was as in the political part, or what you mean?
Yeah, as in, how are you? What do you? What is your purpose in giving back to humanity? Like, how do you want to help?
My biggest thing is understanding people. That is one thing that is a gift and it's a curse. Me trying to understand people so you can understand how you are able to come at them or how you're able to be able to coincide with them. What's important to me is once I know what your triggers are, once I know what your ons and offs are, the importance to me is having a level playing field and an equal ground, man. Because if we can't coincide and talk to each other, communication is a big thing. If we can't, communication is very important to me. If we can't dialogue, it's nothing I can do.
Mm.
Dialogue is people like to tell you, they don't like to be upfront. We are so used to saying that we're gonna read between the lines. We read between the lines so much we don't realize when the truth is right in your face because we're so trying to read behind what someone's saying, and the truth is just right there, and we're going all the way around it because we're trying to find flaw in a lie, but the truth is right there in your face, and we're not even listening to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Do you think it is a viable means going forward for the black community to come together as a collective? You think
And
that's a viable means going forward?
I think the only way it can't, I think the best way that we can come together is understanding we can't become a group or together until we get our family, ourselves together first. Because what other people see, then that's what they become. When
Yeah.
that is what they're around, they embody that.
Yeah.
But we're so worried about what someone else is doing, and we're not looking within ourselves. You get your house together. If everybody focused on their own house, we wouldn't have time to worry about someone else's house. But if everybody was raising their house correctly, nobody would look weird when we finally go outside.
Mm.
Nobody would look weird because we all are going by the same values, the same morals. That's where the togetherness will come, because we will be able to just, it don't even have to be togetherness. We will all be able to move around with no problems. People keep thinking we have to come kumbaya.
Mm. Yep.
The only time the white community will come together is when they're doing business. But outside of business, they're minding, they're not worried about each other unless they're competing against each other. That is when that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But they know how to, when it comes down to, hey, we got to get this business done.
Yeah, I was going to read that here. So Natasha says, how can you help your community? How can you help local kids? You are talking about talking, but are you going to run for city council or school board or city planner to make a real difference in your community? You talk, but we need more action. Do you agree with that?
She asked a lot of questions, so let me answer the questions. All
All
right.
right.
So for me, I do a lot of things of with kids. I do with basketball. One thing that is my passion. I am a basketball coach. It takes the kids first of all, because at the end of the day, adults have now gotten in their own ways.
Mm.
If you don't realize, the social media and the internet, they have, when we were younger, it was parental advisory. They
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get to us.
Yep.
So they had to go to the adults. But now they're going strictly to the kids now. So now it's time to start giving these kids an outlet, and not just saying that sports is the only way, but
Exactly.
having these young men, because I gotta, had little girls, that's fine. I don't, I've never been a little girl or a woman a day in my life,
Mm.
but I do know how to, as a man, we bring structure. However, but it starts with having these young boys, because we got daughters. So how is my daughter going to see that guy, that man, and knowing that if he doesn't have no male structure, no
Mm.
guidance, and nothing, how can my daughter trust? How can I allow my daughter to go out there and trust him? I have to start with the young boys.
Mm.
I can be a mentor. I can be a father figure, but I can't be his father. And that's an issue too.
Yeah.
I always encourage kids, man. I always encourage kids, man, no matter whatever that your mom's saying, just try. Try to have a relationship with your father. Just try. You know what I'm saying? I have gotten on the phone with fathers. I have gotten to hold men accountable, because that's another thing that we have to do in the community. We have to start holding each other accountable as men. Hey man, you got your kids, man. Let's get a play date. We have to stop letting media think that us coming together is gay or soft. or
Hmm.
anything like that. It
Yeah.
takes us, and that's what I'm doing in the community. I'm keeping my homies and everybody around them because it starts with men, because that's where the structure and the strength is going to come. And when a woman sees a strong man, that's when she becomes in her feminine ways. She has to feel like she's safe, secure, and stable. And it comes from the man. So I think the question is, you want to see me just be in the community as you want to see me at a podium down at City Hall. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's something else that you can be do. It's something else, but you want to see somebody in a political role and think it's so easy for a person to change the law, to change this. Somebody like me that you can say, well, it sound good. Go in there and try to, and you set somebody up for failure like that. But if you can get a hold, and that's, you get a hold of the kids, that's what the media is doing right now. You see how easy the kids can get some things across if you really get a hold of them. But if you find a guy that's the kids trust, that means them well, then that's what you can do. And that's what
Right.
I'm doing.
I want to read these stats to you, man. And
I'm
tell
listening.
me, yeah, 1 second. Let me pull them up real quick. So these stats, pretty much show. Oh, here we go. These stats are pretty much from show what the levels of degeneracy are that come from single mother households. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to ask you a follow up question. So here we go. So 60% of youth suicides, 90% of homelessness and runaways, 85% children who show behavior disorders, 80% rapists and anger problems, 71% high school dropouts, 70% of youth in operated youth operated institutions, 80% of all youth in prison. And these all come from single mother households. So with knowing that information, do you think, is it true that all families are equal? Meaning you have the traditional nuclear family, and now it's sort of becoming normalized to see a mother and children, and that being characterized as a family. Do you believe all families are equal?
Mm, no, I don't think that they're equal. I think they have an equal opportunity to do what they need to do based on your grind and your mindset. But not every family is equal. I don't believe that. You just read some important stats of a man being outside of the household. Um, Ken Klein made a comment of saying that the white community will break apart our community because of they pretend to help. You're correct. They're not pretending. They're, if you really understand, a white man comes to a black woman, she understands up front. She's automatically thinking, well, shit, he got a good job, he got some money, he got some stability. So a white man is gonna come to her and tell her, well, shit, man, that guy ain't doing you right. He's gonna spend some money, he's gonna spoil her, he's gonna do that. But our community, the man has been struggling a lot. He hit with the media, they're telling him, you know, these females ain't sugar honey iced tea. They just hoes and tricks. You want to spend most of your time in the strip club. There, it's not just bleeding information into the black female, they're bleeding that toxic information into the black male also. Telling him, bruh, you better have some money. You better be able to compete with me because I'll take your queen. Because all she wants is some stability. All I gotta do is let her know I can make sure she stay in a big house, so I can make sure there's never gonna be no bills, no lights gonna be off, no water's gonna be off. She's never gonna worry about her car being repoed. You know what I'm saying? What do you say?
He said, "No, brother. The emphasis was on the pretending. Please understand. The emphasis is on white professional women don't believe that they should be submissive to their husbands. They don't believe in the same family values that you're preaching. So they're not really helping, are they?"
I mean, I really don't believe that anybody can really get into the head. We all have our own minds, though. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
That you can choose to believe, you can choose to sway away what you want to. You got to be strong, though. If a black woman is for her black king, if a black man is for his black queen, nobody should be able to come in and take that away, no matter what is going on. It's mostly financial, though.
Mm.
The biggest thing is financial. You know, divorce is always monetary. It's not always because of cheating. So it's like you
Yep.
can say that they come in and they
Mm-hmm.
can put that stuff in their head, but we have to be stronger minded individuals.
Yeah, I agree, man. It definitely comes down to the individual. I never really I never really supported the idea that blacks black people should come together as a collective. I think we are too far. We've gone so far astray from our core principles and our values that there's not a common consensus within the black community that we, like an ethical code that we all abide by. So, and families, as we know, are the fundamental building blocks of any community. So until you get your house in order, then you can't really make much of an impact to your community and even broader your society. So I totally agree with that, bro.
And going back to what he was saying about the business minded women, when a woman has built the empire alone, she's already protecting that empire because it's all about stability. She's gonna be prone to go to another man that has the same equal or more.
Mm.
Because when you start touching a certain amount of money, your mindset changes and your goals change. And anybody after they reach a certain tax bracket, the household that you're talking about, that's going to the nuclear, the woman is going to be the nurturer of the kids. She does not have to work. Our community have mothers and fathers working 40 hours a week
Yep.
every single day.
Yep.
Who is going to be able to watch these kids like they're supposed to?
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough time with the kids. And then the father is always gone for 16, 12, 16 hours a day. How can he get that? How can he bring structure? How can he bring structure? The business minded women, they make sure they clam onto that money, because if they're gonna date, if they're gonna make sure they find, if they get them a man, it has to be worth it, because if they work so hard to get what they get, they're not trying to lose that.
Yeah, it's I think it's sort of a defense mechanism. They cling to this security because that's what I think that the women are ultimately seeking is they're seeking that security. And I unfortunately I think a lot of women have adopted this feminist mindset. I'm just going to say it, to whereas they've been inculcated to believe that they should not have to be dependent on the man anymore. It's not. A, a man having a man in the home is not really as required as it used to be. I mean, we're in a society now where you can work. You have you have firemen, police officers. So pretty much all of the traditional roles that one man will fulfill you know, has been substituted for other institutions today, other conventions today that the woman has already filled. And she, my thing is, so how are we gonna how do we get to a place where we convince the women that it's okay to depend on your man, to depend on the man?
Um, I'm a big I'm a big person on action. You have okay, as a man, you have to understand everybody has boundaries, everybody has breaking points. Okay? In a relationship, when a man is trying to court a woman, oh, he goes hard. He's coming in head first, taking out on dates. He doing this, he's doing that. Consistency is a big thing with women. A lot of men come in at the jump, and they spend all they throw all their trump cards in at the beginning. They spend all their money in the beginning. They can't and they can't keep up. They run out of money. They run out of time. Once they say that, the women would say something like, "Dang, they would try to run you down and finally get you, and then now they just wasted time." A lot of men, they going so hard, man, and they have this guard up for so long. Sometimes men get tired.
Yep. Yep.
Sometimes men get tired. But you have to understand consistency is a big thing for women. And for some women, it takes a very, very long time because the black culture goes through a lot of pain, mistreatment, lies. A lot of our women, bro, like I read a couple one time before, it's like over 60%. And I don't want to lie and say it's over 70, but I know it's between the 60 percentile that a lot of our black women grew up being touched, being
Yeah.
lied to by someone very, very close. A cousin, a uncle, a stepdaddy. So that is one thing about it, and it's by a man that has an older man as a child that has already broke that trust before you even understand what it is. They have already taken your innocence, taken your trust. So when that's broken from that beginning, it's hard. And then once that happens as a child, you get that energy that they gave you, and then you start to find the wrong men. You
And that's what
start to
I'm.
look for the wrong men.
Yeah, that's
And
what
it
I
goes through
noticed,
the same
man.
cycle.
Right, and it's yes, and it's an ongoing vicious cycle. Absolutely, I agree. But my thing is like it seems to me that a lot of black women today they aren't selecting men, fathers of their children. They're not selecting men of character today. They're going for whatever trend or whatever guy that makes them feel good. I, what I know from history, traditionally, the daughters would leave from under the father's authority and go to the husband's authority. We would that man would court the father's daughter, get to know him, ask questions, kind of feel the guy out before allowing his daughter to go be that man's wife. But I see that with the breakdown of the family, that our women, our daughters, don't have that protection, that shield anymore, and women are now just they're pretty much free to select men without really having the foresight to know if this man really is going to be a suitable father, a great husband. They're just having children with men. I mean, we had a 70% out of wedlock birth rate now, and this is not no fault of. I'm not putting the blame entirely on women, but what I'm saying is ultimately women decide who gets born. I mean, we've got reproductive health. They've got 26 forms of what do you call it? Contraception. They
Mhm.
got my body, my choice. And I'm not even for abortion, but you got so many exits. So my thing is, do you think that, I don't know, at some point, do you think women should have some accountability?
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna have to. But this is what I do know, right? They're gonna have to be more accountable. But you have to realize women operate on emotion. Everything that they do is emotion. That's one thing about it. But as a man, men have to also be strong enough, and they have to also be confident enough within themselves to understand that you got to lead, bro. Like, and you can't, just because one is a radical and she's not listening, that's not all. And even if you meet five of them, bro, women outnumber us. It's a lot of women also, especially with women after a certain age, they start to say, well, down. After they get old and they're still alone, some of them just be like, well, damn, I think I'm doing something wrong. Let me change up. And they switch it up. But you have to, we don't have patience. And in this generation, in this day and age right now, nobody has patience.
Mm.
Nobody does not want to court. Nobody,
Yep.
nobody wants to take the time. But going back to the parenthood thing that we were talking about, that you were just talking about, let me ask you this: Why are men not, for their daughters that you were talking about that they're raising? Why are they not telling their daughters, don't look for a man like me for what daddy do for you? Pay attention to how daddy treats your mama, or watch how daddy treats my girlfriend, or the woman that is in my life that you see a lot. That should be what type of man that you look for. Don't look for a man what daddy's doing for you because daddy has to do this. A man in the streets not gonna have, he don't have to do that for you. That man can come in here, do what he need to do with you, and leave you. He can leave you with a child. He can leave you after the first night when he get what he want to get. He does not have to provide for you. So just having a baby does not mean he's stuck with you. Because as we see, a lot of women are single mothers. So that can't
Mhm.
even keep the man. So
Right.
you're looking for someone like daddy that can, every time you need something, daddy doesn't say no. Daddy takes care of you. But daddy, he talks to you. Hey, baby, what's going on, baby girl? If you don't realize, a lot of women are looking for that older man because they're seeking structure.
Yep.
They're not even seeking love. They're looking for a man to try to, men, women with fathers that grow up with fathers in the house. And I'm talking about active fathers, not just a father that you live with and he's going to work all the time, but a father that is there. They don't look for a man outside of structure. A father has told you what to look for in a man, and he has guided you. A real father has guided you. You're not looking for daddy in another man. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that we got to look at.
I agree. I agree. That is a conversation I think that more fathers should have with their daughters. Um, I don't know, just hmm. when I look at the numbers, man, 80% of divorces are filed by women, are initiated by women. Um, the number one reason why most marriages break down is because of financial. Um,
Hardship.
yeah, financial hardships,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you know, what is it? The average black marriage lasts for what I think it's like 5 years. What I read, um, it seems I don't know. It seems to me that we okay. Are we at a place now where do you think there's a possibility? Is there a chance that we will adopt those what our forefathers once had, our traditional values? I mean, is it gone? Is it just defunct? Is it, or do you see us being able to turn this ship around?
A very, very small chance.
Ooh,
Very, very small chance. Because um the problem is this: granddaddy was gone a lot. Granddaddy was gone. Granddaddy worked at a factory a lot. He was at work. He did what he had to do. And then we have the next generation, of which is our father or our mother, of one of his children, right? What happens is granddaddy took care of all our needs, all of our wants. He took care of us, but a lot of people did not learn. They just capitalized off of what he was giving, and we were just taking from it. A lot of people right now with grandma, if you look at it, when these generation of our grandmas, like that 75 years old, that pass on the glory, a lot of tradition, like the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, and stuff like that,
The big
you're gonna
mamas.
realize that's gonna die
Yeah.
because they did not learn from any of that stuff. They just participated and came. If you realize, how many family reunions do you go to right now?
Man,
Before
zero.
now
Zero.
that okay, now let's go back to the family reunions that you remember from when you were 5 to 12.
Yeah. Went to a few of
They
them.
had a committee. Y'all went on family reunions to where you had a full weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the church. When you were 5 and 6, you was at choir rehearsal. You was at some was at vacation Bible school. Man, listen, man, my grandma made me wake up for Sunday school. Like, if I had to spend the night, if I wanted to spend the night at grandma's house, well, you know you waking up for Sunday school. Damn, man, that's early. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody to spend the night? Well, you better make sure they bring church clothes. So right now, even with the church now, they've left. I seen somebody put up a comment about the biblical values that's dying. It is because we have this perception right now that it is hypocrisy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the problem, because you're reading and not understanding. And the thing about it is, a lot of, if the world keeps uplifting the Cardi B's, the Mega
Yep.
Stallions, the WAP, it's
Right.
gonna get real. The hot sauce in my bag, bull crap.
I was just
That
saying that we pedestalize the worst. We pedestalize the worst parts of our community, of our culture. We pedestalize it and idolize it. Uh-oh.
for what?
For what?
For what? You know what I'm saying? How can you listen to someone who's not struggling? How can you look at someone like Lizzo, Cardi B, Megan Stallion, and they say they oppressed? How? How can they, when they stand up and make speeches, we're oppressed and this, that, and that? How? How are you oppressed? How? I don't think people are listening to this.
I don't
Like,
think so neither,
how
man.
can you hear a celebrity tell us, that we're like, they're not excluding themselves?
No, they're not.
How?
You know what's even more mind-boggling to me, bro? How and when? Maybe you can answer this question because I can never get a straight answer from anybody. But how and when did the LGBTQIA whatever? How did they align with the black issues, with the black community? How and when did that happen?
What was that second term? 2000, what, 2008, 2012, starting in 2010 through in 2011, going into
Mm.
that second term of Obama.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because
That was his turning point.
yeah.
He
Yep.
needed that. He needed that.
Yep. Yep.
That was his tipping point. That was his tipping point.
Yeah.
2011. That was his tipping point. He needed that after those midterms. Now, listen, do you not remember midterm polls and stuff like that was not that important?
Mm.
until you started seeing when they was trying to boot Trump out.
Yep.
And now they're trying to get a jump on it now. And when they're trying to jump on it like that, you start to look at it and wonder, well, why? What's really going on? But honestly, too, you know, you're not gonna, as African Americans too, they're never gonna get laws unless you are affiliated with that group also.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're the gatekeepers now.
Exactly. You did a video about voting, no voting, no vucking.
Oh
Like,
gosh,
that was
saw that?
ridiculous. And
Ridiculous.
who was the face of that?
I can't even remember what was the guy's name.
A black
Saucy
man,
San.
Saucy.
Yeah.
They want to, if a black man is gonna be at the forefront of power, cut his thing off, or
Yeah.
or make him, you know,
Yep.
make him a sissy.
Yeah, an effeminate male. Exactly. Exactly. And
Make him a
it's a
sissy.
concerted effort to emasculate men. And I think this is like the second phase of removing the man, whereas the first phase was the inception of the welfare. And then now we're seeing it happen in almost it's almost parallel universes happening right now again, where they're in the attempt to remove the man now is to completely emasculate the man, to effeminize him.
Give me help me, because I'm thinking in my mind, I have not seen one yet, but maybe you have. All right, so tell me a couple, because if a black man that's, you know, flamboyant is always in the front, but tell me some women that transition over to the other side that they push. How many of them have they been pushing that want to become black men? It's always to make the man a sissy.
There you go. There you
But
go.
they won't elevate a black woman that want to be a man. No, they still tell them stay in their place. Now you can be a strong woman. Don't try to come be no strong man now. It's
You
even,
got it.
they still not understanding, because not only that, they keep saying woman power.
Yep.
Oh, stand up. But they just voted something to allow a man to still stand on your head, because he gets to come and change himself and dominate your sport.
There you go.
How crazy is that?
There you
You're
go.
still coming in second.
There you go.
Are your eyes not open?
Mm-hmm.
This man now has changed himself to a woman, and he's now dominating your sport. You can't even have your sport for yourself. Come on, man. You can't even enjoy dominating each other. You gotta, now you're not, because he's not a manly man, you don't feel like he's taking over.
Exactly.
Now, if he's a masculine man, you're like, hey, nah, you can't do that. But they like that. Most women like chicks with dicks. A man that they can gossip with, make him feel emotion.
Yep.
But don't be too strong now, because now you're misogynist. Hey, don't say that.
Yep. Misogynist. Yep.
But that comes because they only say that when it comes to now, a man has to make you have accountability. When he calls you out, now he's being too dominant, being too strong on you.
Joyce says, I was a social worker when they start telling women your man has to leave to get the welfare. Yep, I was mad. I spoke against it, saw the dissimulation of our females. Absolutely. The man and the no man in the house rule. Yep. That was implemented, I believe, in 62, 63.
Yeah. What year did Martin die? 68?
60. I thought it was 65. It might be 68. Hey,
so if you look at that, that's when they took trades. After that, they took trades out of the school. You used to have to graduate with the dual.
Mm-hmm.
But now they realize, hey, if you give them a choice, because now on our age group coming in, they gave us a choice. And if they're going to give us a choice, what you think we're going to choose? The easier one, because they made it sound like the plumber, the electricians, all that was just But they didn't tell us that was a business that if a trade, you can have your own.
Exactly. Be self-sufficient.
But the media would they would promote a plumber on TV that he just wears some jeans, that his ass crack out, he fat, sloppy, sweaty, or he's no good, or then a nerd. He has to have glasses. He has to be the one picked on. It's like, come on, man. But then when they make
Bubbling
you
idiot.
when they try to steer you away from something, you have to really investigate why. That's why I said the Candace Owens thing. When they tell me not to like somebody, I want to know why.
Exactly.
Candace is probably the only one that I'm like, I still believe I believe that she's telling the truth. It's just, again, you got to understand delivery. In this day and age time, being abrasive is not where it's going anymore. It's better ways, and I've learned that about, conveying my message, because again, when I started this, I used to be so passionate to where, you don't realize how much you're waving your hands to people doing this, and your voice, people not everybody receive that well.
Yeah.
So where you could just talk regular, man. And if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. But you can't just hold yourself hostage. Move on. It's many more people that you need to touch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Well, we're gonna close it out, man. Any closing thoughts?
Thank you to you,
Appreciate
Laurie,
you.
Corey, Marlon, man, everybody that I've been in contact with. This just been remarkable. I appreciate you taking the time, man.
I
Guys,
appreciate you for coming on,
everybody
bro.
that came, that I invited, man, make sure you like, comment, share it and subscribe,
Absolutely. Appreciate
because
that.
this brother is definitely doing something, man. And everybody who came to listen to me, definitely you can check me out on Apple Podcasts. It's the FWM podcast. You can check me on YouTube. Now the YouTube, I had the first few episodes on there, but I started going strictly Apple and Spotify.
Okay.
Stop posting. It was a little too much, making sure I'm posting everywhere else. So I strictly went Apple. But every Tuesday, no doubt is up. If you want to come on the platform, hit me up. The email is FWM podcast info@gmail.com. My Instagram is FWM_podcast. So definitely, man, I appreciate you again, like I said, for having me on, bro. It's a real smooth conversation. Like I said, knowing that you got the live on here, the live chat, but yeah, they're gonna come at you, man. I gotta realize not to look at it, man, because what did you say? So I gotta get
I
used to
know.
that.
I know, man. I'm still working on it myself, but it's all good, man. I think we did pretty well tonight, man. I appreciate you, man. It's been a blessing. It's been my honor to have you on the show, man. You definitely dropped some gems. Everybody, speaking specifically to my audience, guys, go check out his podcast. He's on Apple, Spotify. Say it one more time, man. How they can come check you out?
Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts also. It's FWM Podcast.
For sure.
And
all right, man.
You can follow me on Instagram. You definitely on social media. You'll definitely be able to keep up with all the episodes. Anyway, I post them on Instagram.
For sure. All right, brother. I appreciate it, guys. You already know how we close this out. We are speaking truth, and reality. And I promise you, we will reinstitute morality. Y'all have a good night.
You ain't black.